Independent Book Club. I'm so happy to have you here today. Thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time to learn about a new author. Every week on Wednesday night, we have a new sweet romance author who comes and shares a little bit about their books. Tonight, we're featuring Elissa Strati, who mostly writes historical Westerns, but she has written some other genres as well. And you are just going to be so excited to meet her. Be sure to look and see where you can find her books and find out about her. If you look just up above here, I've posted some links. And if you look at earlier posts from this week, you'll see her bio and also a little bit more about her book. The book that we are going to be talking about today is called A Bride for Richard, and I wanted to show you the cover. It's just gorgeous, and you can tell just from that it's going to be really a fun book. So be sure, if you have any questions or comments, be sure to comment in the comment section below, and then Elissa will be giving away a copy of A Bride for Richard, and I will also be giving away a copy of Jesse and James to two random readers who would like to comment or ask questions. We leave that comment section open for 24 hours, and then we choose a winner tomorrow night. So be sure to come back and see if you are one of the lucky winners. And now I'm so excited, but I'd like to introduce Elissa Strati. I am so excited today to welcome Elissa Strati to us. Elissa, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Jennifer.
So tell the readers a little bit about yourself.
Well, obviously I'm no longer a young woman. So I've been around the block a few times.
I love your hair. It's such a pretty color.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, it's multicolor, but in this light, it shows up pretty much. We call it silver in this household. We do not say gray, but anyway, quick bio. I am an Army brat. My dad was in the Army for 31 years, and we traveled all over the country into Europe. And I've been in, at this point, much of the traveling on my own since. I've been in 48 states. I've been in, how many continents are there now? If it's seven, I've been in, I've been in 4 over, something like that. You know, I like to travel. I'm a Sagittarius. We're allowed to do that. And so that gives me a lot of backgrounds that I can pick from when I'm trying to tell a story. For instance, a lot of my stories are set in Kansas or in Texas. I've spent a bit of time in both, and I had been through the area that I'm writing about. So I could picture this Green River Valley that I used as the setting for the first book of mine that is currently available. I had done 3 books before that, that through a publisher, and I've gotten the rights back, but I haven't republished as an author. You know what I'm talking about. Sometime this year, I'm hoping to be able to get a few more of them back online because they were fun. I enjoyed writing them too.
Well, so you have a little bit of an accent. So you said you were an Army brat. So
yep.
Where's the accent come from?
All right. What does it sound like to you?
It sounds like an Oklahoma, Texas drawl.
Okay. I split my time right now between Pennsylvania and Arizona.
Oh.
I did live in Texas as a child about the time I was learning to speak, in fact.
Okay, so that's probably where you got it from.
And I've also been accused of a Boston drawl occasionally.
It's very eclectic.
It's a little of everything because as I said, depends on whom I'm talking with or with whom I'm talking.
Okay. There you go.
Let's go back and edit my speech.
So tell me about your book and about your writing in general. How many books have you written? How did you get into writing?
I've had a total of 18 or 19 published so far.
Okay.
I've been writing my whole life. I think most authors always scribbled. I've always kept journals, and intermittently kept journals. Let's face it, some years were busier than others. But I was doing technical editing for the World Bank, and had started reviewing, and was doing some editing and so forth and reviewing for authors. Melissa Storm was trying to decide her direction when I started reading some of her books, and I had read an ARC and sent back notes with editorial comments, because as an editor, you can't not.
Right. That's what they want. That's what people want from you. Right?
And really, yeah, I think people do. I know that I adore when my beta and alpha readers get back to me real fast and say, hey, should be AND or should be AN, or should, whatever the issue is, and because it is, the eye sees what it wants to. Have you ever seen those tests online where the words are written backwards and upside down, all the letters are scrambled, and you can read it?
Yeah.
And
your
that's,
brain is trained a certain way.
exactly. So
That's
especially, I know what the words are supposed to say. So I'm reading, and even if I'm reading out loud, I'm still, if it says SAW, I'm reading was, So you need the outside lookers, and it's 10 sets of eyes, and the 11th set will see you left out the word the here, and it doesn't make sense without the the, but people put the the in and nobody else had mentioned it. So I have gone back more than once on books that are already published and done some finessing of grammar and so forth.
Fun. Well, so tell us about this book.
This book, okay. Well, of course, we're doing the interview a little bit in advance of publication, so I am still writing it. The book is called A Bride for Richard. It is set in the mail order, I have to look it up now, mail order sheriff's brides series, which is basically dealing with the lawmen in our lives in the 19th century. We are getting spouses for these lonely lawmen. You remember the line in Gunsmoke. Well, you're probably not quite old enough to have listened to the radio show, which had it's a chancy job and a little bit lonely, says Matt Dillon at the opening. And so we got these lonely lawmen, and there's not a whole lot of extra women in the West in this era. So mail order brides were not all that uncommon. And
I wanted to ask you that because a lot of authors have gone to that trope of mail order brides, and I think it's such a fun trope. But how common was it?
Probably not as many as have been written.
I'm sure.
Think we have more married couples in the Wild West than the population of the United States at this point.
There you go. Yes.
A lot of us are writing this because it's fun. You're exploring human beings who are strangers, meeting each other for the first time, and they're married. You've got to cope with not just the normal boy girl and this man needs to bathe, or this woman really should wash her hair, because that would have been a fairly common thing. You only washed your hair once or twice a year, unless you had really good access to water. So that, which is a separate aspect in most of the books dealing with the Wild West. Anyway, in this book, we do have a sheriff, and he decides that his best friend had success with a mail order bride, and he wants to maybe not be so lonely.
So here's the last question that I like to ask everybody. You're stranded on a desert island. Do you get a lifetime supply of toilet paper or chocolate?
You see, now, as an author, I'm not looking at the toilet paper or the chocolate. Chocolate's tasty, but after about 3 of them, your teeth stick together. Toilet paper is really useful, but if I'm on a desert island by myself, I'll just go into the ocean, thank you. What I really want to know is, how did I get here? Who's here with me? What supplies do I have? Is there fresh water? Am I going to survive more than 48 hours? What kind of food do I have besides chocolates? Because let's face it, chocolate's probably
Okay, I love that answer because yes, you have to answer all those questions first before you can decide between chocolate and toilet paper.
I'm not going to be live tomorrow to eat some more chocolate.
That's right. Well, Elissa, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure meeting you and so excited about your book. Readers, tomorrow night, we will pick 2 winners. Elissa's giving away a copy of A Bride for Richard, and I'm giving away a copy of my book, Jesse and James. And we'll post them here in the book club. If you want to learn more about Elissa and her books, I've put some social media links up there, and posts earlier this week will tell you a little bit more about her and more about the book. Thank you so much for being here, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Well, thank you very much. And I will be lurking online, probably not constantly, but often enough that if you have any questions for me, please ask. You know, I may not answer because if it's something I don't want to tell you, I won't. But
Or
I'll tell
have
you
you
that I don't
heard
want
about the new government program where you can win $50,000? Yeah, don't ask those kind of questions.
Oh, well, I mean, I know the answer to that one. Hello, you have reached Cassie. Cassie is a robot and wants to take all the money that you have to send.
Yeah, no questions like that. That's good.
No, cut that one.
Well, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. It's been delightful talking with you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.